Hey everyone, it is Binky. I am back. Back. So yeah, going for a little bit more casual look. The funny thing was, I actually wasn't even going to film today. I rarely have days off where there aren't people running around in here, because if you live in a major city with a lot of tourist attractions, people want to come here all the time because it's so expensive, so it's a free hotel. So this place is always having people here, and it just, so that's why it's sometimes hard to film. And so I have a whole day to myself, which is rare, because between taking some classes and doing different jobs and people being here and traveling, I just got back from Denmark. Yeah, it's been nuts, but you know, life is good. I'm keeping it busy. I'm keeping it going. So yes, so I'm going for a more casual look today because I was like, why not? It has been a while, but I am now doing another edition of Yes, No, Maybe So. You know, the reason why I hadn't been doing it was because April was when I bought a lot of things. I bought so many things. And then after that, I kind of just wasn't interested in a lot of what was coming out. So the things I've been interested in have been more like indie brand things. So you're going to be seeing some more of that stuff coming up here in the near future, because I just think that they're putting out things that are a little bit more interesting than mainstream items. So yeah, I have a lot coming in. Not a lot, but there's a lot that I already had, and some new things that are coming in from some indie brands. And I just think it's really great, because I think they're putting out what a lot of people want, and the major brands are kind of missing the mark. So most of these items are, I'm going to be honest with you, eyeshadow palettes, because that's what I tend to gravitate to. In case you didn't notice watching me organizing all my palettes, yeah, I have an addiction, and it is called eyeshadow palettes. I also am really big into lipsticks, but I don't know if I could do an organizing video of that. It might be too depressing. So that one I'm battling with, but we'll see. But so what we're going to do is start with this. There's about, I think, 10 eyeshadow palettes. I don't even know. I didn't count. But here we go. The first one is the answer to a palette that was an April Fool's joke. Hey Tarte, joke's on you. Because as we know, the people at Hush, they see things like this and they went, you know what? We're going to make a gain off your sorrow. So they went ahead and made, with face candy, the Atlantis palette. And yes, it's basically the Icy Betch palette made for you at the price of $14, which is very affordable, because if Tarte had done it, it would have been pretty darn expensive. So this is actually really great, good on the wallet, and you get the colors that you wanted. Now, I love this palette. When I first saw it, I actually really loved it, and I went, wow, that's really smart, because this is kind of what people want. They want these more colorful palettes, some blue, wearable blues and greens, and a few silvers thrown in there, and I went, this is what we're talking about. But I figured it out within like 30 seconds that it was a joke, and sadly the April Fool's joke was on Tarte, and now Face Candy is going to be making the money off of what you did not deliver, Tarte. So yes, it has been released. Now, am I going to pick this up? I'm going to be honest with you, most likely not. And part of it is because I have an issue with Hush at this time, and so I'm not really buying from them anymore, just because I didn't care for some of their practices. And it's not even necessarily about duping the palette. Some people were really against that, and I get it. I totally do, and then others aren't. I'm not excusing it, but I have some of their palettes, but I also have it from the originals too, so I could see how they were. So for me, I bought one of each. So I felt like, okay, whatever. And there is a niche for that, because you know, not everybody can afford $45 to $80 for eyeshadow. So there's going to be people coming out to make money off of that, and I don't necessarily see it as a horrible thing. Though, you know, some will say, hey, you're stealing ideas. So I get it. It goes both ways. So whatever your opinion is on it, but I just don't necessarily care for other practices within Hush. So I don't buy from them anymore, so I am not going to be picking up this palette. But that's not the only reason. The other reason is because NYX put out those Element palettes like at the beginning of the year, and they end up going on sale because nobody wanted to pay $30 for a NYX palette. I mean, that's just crazy because NYX is known for being, you know, a discount brand. Now you want to put out these palettes for $30. No, 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 no. So honestly, for me, I wouldn't pay $30, but I ended up getting it on sale for like $12. And I ended up picking up the water palette and about 2 other ones, and I think they are still available on NYX. So for me, that palette, though not exactly similar, you can see it to the side here, is it within the same vein. So basically, do I really need that palette? No, because I have this one, and I haven't been reaching for it nearly as much as I need to. And because I'm on a low buy, and because I have so many palettes, this is one of the reasons why I do this video, is so I could figure out what I want to add versus what I shouldn't. And because I have something very similar, I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. So the next one was the Lemonade palette, and this one's been being hinted at for a while, I'd say like 3-4 months, and finally it's been released. Now, I've never bought anything from the brand before. I think there's only like 2 palettes that have been released, but I actually really like this palette. I think it's a really, really nice palette. I think it's a really pretty palette. I think it's like $42. I'll put it to the side. I don't know if I'd be willing to pay that though, because I'm sure I have something within my collection very similar. Part of me is tempted. So it's on the maybe so, leaning more towards no. Just because I think I could probably dupe it, but I think it's a really beautiful palette. I really do. You know, most likely I really do not need this, but I am tempted. The next couple items are going to be from Too Faced, and they are lip products. And the first one is the Melted Metallic. Yes, lips. It's not lipstick, it's the liquid lipstick. Boop. And these are coming out here soon. Actually, I think they were released, but they only have some of them that are actually available. It's kind of weird. Too Faced will do this. They'll go, yay, it's released. And like 3/4 of it will be in the colors that I actually really want are never like available. So it's kind of like, oh, we didn't put them out yet. It's like, hey, why don't you wait till the whole collection's there? But yes, so they're here. I'm pretty sure they're retailing at $21. Put that to the side. You know, there's a couple colors that actually intrigue me. It's weird because with metallic lipsticks, it's very hit and miss. Some people really love them, and some people just are like, oh, I really love them. I love the metallic look. I do. I wear it all the time. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I don't know why. I just gravitate towards it. And I know some people really hate them. They're just like, it doesn't look good on anyone. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. I like how it looks on me, so I'm going to wear them. So I love them. So it's all a matter of opinion, you know, and I love these. You know, there's a few, some of them are kind of wah-wah shades, where it's just like we have 5 billion of these. You know, these were released by other companies like BH Cosmetics or whoever, you know, even Color Brain had some of these colors that were released. So it's nothing really new, but there's a couple that piqued my interest. And so I would definitely end up picking up, I would say 2 or 3 of these in the future. Now, Too Faced will send me coupons every once in a while going 20% off, gorgeous. They're calling everybody gorgeous. It's not just me. So you can be gorgeous too. Sign up for the mailing list and you'll get the 20% off. The thing is that I don't like is that you can never use it on new products. So it's like, here's 20% off, but you can't use it on anything that's been released in the last 2 months. And it's just like, please don't. Please don't send it to me because I don't care about the old stock. You know what I mean? It's just, because somebody like Ulta is going to send out a coupon and I'll just give them my money rather than you because I'll be able to use that 20% on your own brand there. Okay, so the light came in really bright. It's one of those cloudy days where it gets really bright and then mellow, then bright. And that was scary, like a flashlight under the chin. Halloween story scare. So I apologize for that. It's going to keep doing that, so be prepared. So I know, and it's not even October. So yeah, so I do feel like, you know, there are some really great shades here. There it is. There's some really great shades here, and some of them are really fun, but you know, I don't know. I'm definitely going to pick up 2 or 3, but I may look at the reviews first because, you know, it's a pretty penny to drop over something. But I do love the metallic, so I am definitely tempted. The next items are the Too Faced Anniversary lipsticks. Yes! So they've been putting out a lot of new promotional pictures of these items. They're coming out for their anniversary, the big one. And these are the lipsticks. And they're metallic. So if you don't like the liquid lipsticks, you got this. The packaging is kind of but I think it's an ode back to when they first started. So, you know, whatever, I can excuse that. I'm strangely intrigued by these. I really am. Again, I'm a sucker for metallic lipsticks, and I do have some of the MAC ones that were released. Actually, I have quite a few of those. I really love them. I am a metallic fanatic. I really am. So, of course, I'm really tempted by some of these. I don't know. I think some of them are really fun and unique colors, and then some of them are kind of like, yeah, you know, the standard safe colors. So I would definitely like to try a couple of these. I'm just curious to see if they'll be gritty or not, because sometimes with these you'll try those formulas and they're very gritty, and so I'm curious. But is the packaging my favorite? No, but I think it's kind of like an homage to days gone by, and I'm still very curious about this. Now Lorac is putting out a new palette, a new pro little palette there, and I actually really love them. I have, I think, 3 of them, and I really enjoy them, and so they're releasing a new one, and nobody's really talking about it. And looking at the picture, I can see why. You know, I love Lorac, I really do, but I don't feel like this necessarily is the most exciting palette, and actually it's very reminiscent of the White Peach palette that was released from Too Faced. It very much is within that color range, and so I do have that palette. I know it kind of got panned a lot because it's catering more towards people with, you know, lighter skin tones than those with deeper, and I can understand the frustration with that. I actually like the White Peach palette, I'm going to be honest, and part of it is when you have skin this coloring, you're kind of like a white canvas, and everything is very noticeable on you. And so it's kind of nice to have a palette like that where you can go in there full force and it doesn't look like clown makeup. So, you know, it's kind of difficult because, again, with the skin tone, things can be really garish or just be too much because it really is like a painter's palette. So I really like the White Peach palette. I did. But I can understand the frustration for others most definitely because, you know, I'm not the majority. This, I think, is going to be a hard pass for a lot of people because of that. It's so similar to that palette, and that palette didn't necessarily do that well. So I can see this kind of appealing to a very limited group of people, and it would work really well in my skin tone, but the thing is, it's just kind of like, you know, it's kind of a snoozer. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, that's really disappointing, but would I pick it up? Maybe if it went on a really, really low sale, like $20, then I would probably pick it up. But for the price that it's going to go for, which will probably be about $46, I'm going to have to say no, just because I have the peach palette, and how many of these do I need? Not that many. The next one is the Gemini palette. Gemini palette. Now I know this one's a little bit older. It was actually released, sold out. They're going to be selling it again. But, you know, it's come across my radar a couple times. I've been intrigued with it because I think half of the palette is kind of like, wah, wah. It's kind of boring. And then you have the ones with the greens and the yellows. Yeah, I love that side. I think that side is absolutely fantastic. I am in love with it. Now here's the thing, I'm a little bit confused by it being called Gemini, because if you've been watching my astrological series with well, there's 2 of them. There's the one with the Bite Beauty lipsticks that are being released, and the also using the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. So I have a couple of those. Check them out if you're interested in that. But Gemini was just released, because this is the time for Gemini at the time of this filming, was released for Bite Beauty, and it was this red and then this light color, I guess like somewhat of a light tan color, and it doesn't represent Gemini at all. And again, this doesn't represent Gemini at all. Gemini is a sunny, happy sign, and this, if I were going to choose a sign to put this with, this is for Sagittarius. This is no longer the Gemini palette, it's the Sagittarius palette, because this is exactly, if I were making something for every sign, this is what I would choose for Sagittarius. These are the colors are dead on Sagittarius. And not Gemini. Gemini is happy, sunny, childlike, and then there's this. Not saying the Sagittarius loves a good time, my friends, but they're a little bit more mature than Gemini about it. So yeah, no. So that kind of bugs me, because people will put out these things, but it doesn't necessarily represent the actual sign. Go talk to an astrologer. But anyway, that's not the way I would do it. I do it very differently. But even being said, the Sagittarius palette, as I like to call it, is quite nice. So I really do like it. I thought about getting it. I didn't get it before it sold out. The only thing holding me back is $58. $58. I think that is just ludicrous. I'm going to be honest with you. I would pay between $40 and $45. There's no way in heck this is worth $58. I just think that is just crazy. I've never used Melt Cosmetics. I'm sure it's a great formula. I've heard good things about it, except for the actual sign Gemini. That's the irony, is from the reviews, the actual Gemini color is just horrid. So it's like, but the rest of it's really great. So part of me is tempted, and part of me is just like, that is ridiculously high. No. So this one's a maybe so, because that last part of it with those greens and yellows, yeah. Coming on to the home stretch, three more. So the next one is Colorpop. They have a small mini palette coming out, and I think it's really nice. Now, I think it's going for free. I could be wrong. It could be going for free. Sometimes they'll give stuff away if you order a certain amount, and this may be it, and eventually it'll be on sale. I really like this, but honestly, I just feel that the only one that I really want is that yellow, and so I'm not going to buy this or go and buy products just to get this, because it's all about that yellow. I just want that yellow. That's it. And the thing is, this year yellow is kind of the it color. So there's so many yellows coming out that I basically can skip this one, because I'm not going to get it just for one color and clutter this place up more than it is. I've been organizing, trying to get rid of stuff, so I don't need this. So even though it is gorgeous, I just don't need those purples. I don't need the other colors. I just want that yellow. If they just released that yellow by itself, I'd buy it, but as a whole palette, nope. The next one is Born to Run, and this is from Urban Decay. Urban Decay. So this, I think, is permanent. From what I've heard, this is going to be part of their permanent collection, and it's a new palette. As you can see, there's a lot of neutrals in there, which is nice, you know. But it's also kind of, for me, lackluster. I'm not overly excited by most of these colors. There's like these pops of colors that show up. So there's the neutrals, and then those still hints of warm in there with the oranges and things. And everything's kind of moving a little bit more cool tone right now. So it's a little bit like, a little bit late, Urban Decay. But there's the one color in the corner. It's not Seaside. I'll put it to I'll put a little star on it. It's that green color, that greenish blue. I love that color. Again, I'm not going to buy a whole palette just for that one color, but I have to have a dupe somewhere here, and I'm sure I do. But I just look at that color. I don't know what it is right offhand. I think it's Seaside. I could be wrong. I'll just call it Seaside, much like the Sagittarius palette that used to be Gemini. But I love it. I absolutely love that one color. And that is no reason to buy a palette. So I'm just not inspired by this. I have so many different palettes that may not be one palette like this, but I have several that would compose this palette. So to me, it's just kind of, especially for Urban Decay, it's just kind of pedestrian. So I'm gonna skip it. The last item, the last one, we made it, is Violet Voss. Yes, the Flamingos palette. This has been like being shown for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I love this palette. This is the one I'm excited about. I know there's a lot coming out that are very similar to this. It's kind of a popular color scheme this summer, and I'm loving it. I'm loving all the color, and I'm just being inspired by it. And this palette, as soon as I saw it, I actually don't have a lot of Violet Voss products. I went and bought the Ride and Die during the spring sale at Sephora. I finally just did it because I heard so many great things, and honestly, the formula is amazing. I haven't done a review yet because it's more something I'd wear in the fall, winter, but It really is that good. The formula, I've been warned, and I have to say it is amazing. If the formula to this one is anything as good as the Ride and Die, I am so excited. It's kind of almost like a bright pastel palette, because pastels are kind of a nightmare for a lot of people, but it's not really a pastel, it's a brighter version. So I just love it. I love the colors that are here. I love some of those yellows. I'm really loving these yellows. I just think they're really great. I love these teals. I know it's kind of the, look, it's yellow and teal colors. It's all around this summer, but I actually really like them. So I'm happy about it. Spoiler alert, I ordered it. I ordered it last night. It's going to be coming the week of the 19th. I am so excited. So yes, I am so happy, yes. There's yes, no, maybe so. I already bought it. We're going to add that as the 4th category because I bought it. It's just not in my hot little hands yet, but it will be. So yes, out of all of them, this is the one that I obviously was ready to pull the trigger on. Yes, so I'm really happy about it. As far as the rest, you know, like I said, I will pick up a couple of the Too Faced items coming up. Gemini is the one, the second one, even the Lemonade palette that are kind of making me go, you're tempting me. I don't need any more palettes. You saw the video maybe of the organizing my palettes. I don't need any more palettes. It doesn't mean I'm not going to buy any more. I still am. It's just I'm going to be a lot more choosy. And so it was the Gemini one would kind of beat out the Lemonade palette. But we'll see. But definitely buy the Voss. Yeah, that bad boy is going to be mine. So I'm excited. So right now, you know, there hasn't been a lot, like I said, outside the indie brands that have been making me go, wow, you know. So definitely the buy the Voss one, but Gemini, possibly Lemonade. But the rest have just been kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just not feeling that inspired. Maybe I'm feeling more inspired by what I own right now rather than what's out there, which is a good thing because I'm going to save money. So let me know what you're thinking right now. Am I the only one in a slump? Like, I need to be in a slump. I have so many damn palettes. It's like, you know, just go shopping there. And I have been. So watch for those videos because I have been. But yeah, let me know how you feel. And until next time, my friends, have a great day. Bye.